Hi everybody, today we're going to have a quick look at project networks and see if we can explain it quickly. So project network determines the amount of time it takes to complete a series of tasks. We need to establish the minimum completion time for the entire project and any slack time where people can either be reassigned or the jobs can go a little bit late. So any of the tasks that are required to reach the minimum completion time are on the critical path, and if they change, the completion time will also change. Tasks that are not on the critical path may have slack time, allowing the tasks to take a little bit longer or start later than tasks on the critical path. To determine the critical path, start at the beginning of the project and then work from there. So here we go. In our first step, we know that to get to milestone A, requires this task to be completed. So that will finish, that milestone will be reached at 2, this milestone will be reached at 1, this milestone will be reached at 2. And as soon as that milestone is finished, these 3 tasks can start, and when that one's, when all the tasks leading up to this milestone are finished, that task can start. So the earliest this milestone here will be reached will be via this path here. So 2 plus 6 is 8. From here to here to here will be 5, so there's a bit of slack in here. This could run a little bit late. Now to get to E, that's going to be this 2 plus that 5, so that's where that 7 comes from. And this 2 and this 5, that's where that 7 comes from. Then we continue towards the right. 8 and 2 will give us our 10. 7 and 2 would be 9, and 7 and 6 would be 13. So once we get to this 10 and add that 4 on, we can see that F can't finish until A, G, B, C is done, with 14 up here. And that's shown here in the path to 14. If we work backwards, is there, 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 there. So that gives us our critical path. If that task, that task, that task, or that task runs late, we will complete the task later. We will complete the project later. Now we can go back and work out where all the slack is on the chart by working backwards. So if we have a look here, if we start from 14, 14 take 6 will give us 8. 14 take 2 will give us 12. That's on the critical path, so these numbers are going to be the same. From here, 8 take 3 is 5. We know that this one can go as far as 13 because it only takes 1 to complete, to get to the finish. And that's on the critical path, so it's not going to have any slack in it. So what this means is that this project, this task here, or this task here, could run late and it wouldn't interrupt the minimum path. In fact, this could go 3 late and this could go, or this could go 3 late. Similarly here, we've got 1 hour or 1 day of slack, and here we've got 5 days of slack that we can use in these 2 tasks. And that's basically all there is to it to create a project network and work out the minimum completion task. To construct a network given a series of tasks, you're generally given the predecessors of each task and the length of time of each task, and in this case we're given a little bit of a description. So we start, and the first thing we do is clear land, indicated by that dash. Draw the task on, draw a circle. Now look for any task with a predecessor is A, and in this case we have B. Draw B on, draw a circle. Now we're looking for anything that has a predecessor of B, and we can see here there's 2 tasks. So one is C, and that's this one, and one is F. Now typically I would just draw a bit of those tasks, and I think that's exactly what I do down here somewhere. Yeah, here, C. And then, because I don't really know where F is going to go. So once I've done that, I'll look at what's the predecessors of F, and there isn't any. So I know that I can connect F directly to the finish, and then I can focus just on this C path. So what are the predecessors of C? Well, there's H and D. Here they are here. And I can see that they both lead to task E. You can see here that D and H are predecessors of task E. Then we have task G, which has E as a predecessor, and then we're finished. And there I am building it up slowly. Then I could work out the critical path as before. And the critical path in this case is A, B, C, D, E, G. there isn't much slack in this network, it's just in these two parts here. And I can work backwards and work out where the slack is. But in this case, the earliest completion date is 189 days. So hopefully that helps. And once you get to that point, you can start solving the problems involving slackness and changes to the critical path. Well, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.